everybody. I know it's not like the entrance you're used to. Sorry, I wasn't even done getting ready. So unprofessional me. Okay, that's better. We'll just deal with that. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Setup looks a little different. Definitely on purpose. Don't mind my wall here. It's fine. I'll fix those bricks later. Hi. It has been like a month, I think. It feels a little weird when you get out of practice and then or like even with anything, right? You don't show up to the gym for a month. It gets uncomfortable when you come back. You like feel like out of place again, right? That's how I feel right now about podcasting. Like it's been a month. I'm out of practice. I haven't been exercising the podcast muscle. So just bear with me, okay? Kind of a lot to talk about, not really. Like, as you guys know, last time I was on here, I was getting ready to head to the Bahamas, which I did, and it was fucking gorgeous. 10 out of 10, recommend going and checking it out. I stayed in this, I wouldn't call it a resort, but like a community really, and it has like its own little private beaches. It's on like the southern part of the island that has Nassau. Gorgeous. I shared pictures on my story on Instagram, and I created a highlight. So if you are curious as to what the views were from my room, which was fucking incredible, go check that out. My Instagram, this is so weird, handle's right here. Go check it out. It says Nassau. Gorgeous. It's a little area. It's a place called Palm Key. Dope as fuck. Huge house. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It was for work. So people think that I just like, I had so many people like message me like, oh, must be nice. Like, oh, how do you guys afford these kind of vacations? Blah, 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 blah. I didn't afford it. I was there for work. Like everything was fucking paid for. That's what happened. So I worked. I literally worked. I worked like 16 hours a day. Like it was crazy. It was a lot for 10 fucking days. Towards the end, the second to last day that I was there, I tested positive for COVID. So I am no longer part of the never had COVID gang. I definitely caught that shit. This was not a surprise to me. Everybody knows the risks when traveling. I knew that the chances of me catching it were pretty high. So at one point while I was there, there was like some like huge ass storm, and I was like really like, is this like a fucking tropical storm or a hurricane? And there's some shit I don't know about, because it poured like a motherfucker. Like shit was flooding. Like you walk outside, my feet are underwater, like up to my calves underwater. When I'm driving, it's fucking flooded. Which cool thing over there I got to experience is I had to drive on the left-hand side of the road. And I was like the only person who was comfortable with driving besides my boss. But, you know, she had to be there, so I had to do all the fucking driving. Learned that side of the island really well. I was fucking going all over the place. Keep it left, keep it left, keep it left. There's even a sticker on the rental. It says keep left. Like, it was an interesting thing. It was also interesting to see cars driving on the left-hand side of the road, but with the steering wheel and all the shit on the right. And it was, I'm glad that that's not the kind of car I was driving, because I'm so like driving stick, right? I'm used to shifting with my right hand, not my left. So that would have really fucking turned me around. That was an interesting experience. Poured, drove a lot, met a lot of people from around the country and different parts of the world, which was dope as fuck. So the thing about it is the work event that I was working, it's called a breakthrough retreat. And its purpose is to help break you open, right? In an effort to help you with your personal transformation. And so not only was I working the event, but I was also a participant of the event in certain times and spaces. And that shit fucking cracked me open something fierce. And I really feel like to this day, I'm in it. Like I'm in that aftermath still. Like that shit is it's fucking crazy. Like the shit that I've been forced to examine within myself has been eye-opening, to say the least. There's a lot of things I'm discovering literally every day. Since then, I'll be in the car driving my kids, you know, like, because I'm a chauffeur now. They're in sports and shit like that. So, and I'll have like this epiphany. It'll dawn on me. Like yesterday, I was sitting at my son's jiu-jitsu class, and I just all of a sudden felt like this overwhelm of emotion. Like I wanted to cry right there in his jiu-jitsu class. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I know it's because of this event, because it's so the analogy that was used there, right, is that whenever you go through something or something happens, right, in that very moment, it is the lightest it will ever be, right? The easiest to deal with and like get through and process and all that shit. But like oftentimes, I know for me, I put a pin in it. Like I'm like, can't deal with that right now. I'm busy. Like I don't have time to be emotional. Like I gotta keep my shit together. Like I have 2 kids to fucking feed and raise and keep housed and all these things. So I am super guilty of suppressing emotions, right? Like throughout the history of my life until now. And like, you know, there's shit that's happened as well, like on top of everything that I would really like to fucking suppress and get the step in. But like because of this retreat, I can't. Like the floodgates are open. Like there's no controlling this shit right now. And so my boss, who is incredibly fucking brilliant, and I totally like am blessed to have access to this woman in any capacity. But the fact that she's my boss and she's, you know, a coach, and she's like, I have access to that. And I'm so grateful, because without her right now, I don't know where the fuck I'd be. But I preach shit, right? I always tell people you got to go through it to get through it. What's meant for you won't miss you, and blah, 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 blah. And I believe it. I firmly fucking believe it. But then when it's you, right, it's really, 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 really hard to like follow your own advice and to see those things. And I am constantly checking myself, because the default programming wants to come and show its little fucking face, and then you just gotta whack-a-mole, you know, like nope, nope and like say the things that you know are true that you preach to other people that you need to tell yourself, right? And she's like, so oftentimes when something happens in your life, your thought process is like, God, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to make this happen to me? Right? And the reframe that I got from her was, this isn't happening to you. This is happening for you, right? And that there is something that I've had to repeat in my own head 1,000 times a day. Shit isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. So like I've always also preached, find the lesson, right? There's always a lesson in every interaction with anybody, right? Friendships, relationships, work things, other shit, that just little things that go on in your life. Like find the lesson, find the purpose. Sometimes, and I always say this, like people come into your life and some are meant to be there long term and some are meant to be there short term, and they teach you more things sometimes about yourself than someone you have in your life for fucking years, right? And so there's a lot of things, a lot of mindsets that I know exist within me because I preach this shit to people, but like am being forced to practice what I preach at the moment. And I'm grateful. I'm really grateful because I am like, I had an epiphany yesterday, right? So like my entire life I've been a caretaker. I am the oldest of 4. My mom was a single parent. You know, I've said this before to you guys as well. Like, I don't believe everybody does the best they can with what they have. I think that they do the best that they want to, if that makes sense. And I think that she did her best, like what she had the capacity for. And without anything that has ever happened in my life, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I'm not, shitting on that. I love who I am right now and the person I have become and the woman that I'm growing into. And so like, this isn't to shit on literally anybody or anything that anytime, any person who's ever had some kind of impact on my life, like I'm grateful for. And I really, truly fucking mean that. But I've been a caretaker my whole life, being the eldest sibling, right? I'm one of the oldest of the grandkids. Like my grandmother has like, like, I don't know, 12, 13 grandchildren, right? And I'm the third born. But I realized, and then I've been a mom since I was 20. So when I was 20, I started seeing my kid's dad, and he had 2 kids. So I became a stepmom before I became a mom. And so throughout my life, I've always cared for people. And I feel like not necessarily codependence. I'm a pretty independent person. I do enjoy having alone time. But being alone is uncomfortable for me for a few reasons, but I'll get back to that. I feel like if I don't have a ton of people to take care of or do things for or share with or like spend time with and do things with, that like I think that a lot of my own self-worth came or comes from like what I like from relationships, like from like one of my identities is I'm a mother. Like that's the first thing when people ask you, well, who are you? My first response is I'm a mother. And like that's it like dawned on me yesterday because I'm just like, why is it so hard for me to like I'm a very I really do. When I fuck with people, I fuck with people. I don't fuck with a lot of people, but when I fuck with people, I fuck with people. And it's kind of hard to like let friendships go that no longer serve me. It's hard for me to let like any kind of romantic thing go, because I don't open myself up to a lot of people. So when I do, like I'm like, that's a really like hard thing for me to do. And so I tend to try to hold on to shit, even if it's not the best thing for me. But I do. Like I don't know why I do it. I just fucking do. And I think it's because I tied it to my self-worth somehow. And so a lot of the things that I'm being confronted with right now, like I've really had to dig deep and like think about why that is, where that comes from, and then how I move forward knowing what I know now, you know? And this is all because of this fucking retreat. Like, what the hell? Like, it's just like, I'm in the work, right? Like, I can honestly say, like, how many people can honestly say that they're working on themselves? Like, most people aren't working on themselves. A lot of people say that they want to work on themselves, but how many people actually really fucking do? And like, sometimes that requires sitting there alone with your fucking thoughts, which is terrifying, right? Like for me it is, because I am a woman of many thoughts, all the thoughts. And I'm an overanalyzer, I am an overthinker. And something that I like about myself is that I have the ability to look at shit from multiple perspectives before forming an opinion. But the issue with that is I tend to really look at all these perspectives, the perspectives that like don't even really fucking exist, to criticize myself, right? Like I'm doing it I'm putting words in people's mouths basically to like confirm the horrible shit that I tend to think about myself sometimes. Does that make sense? Something I hadn't even like super considered or dove deep into prior to this work event. And so that has been an interesting thing for me to confront. I don't like to ask for help. Like, I don't like to bother people with what I'm going through, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. Like, except for you guys, evidently, because I just come on the fucking podcast and just fucking unload. Like it's like therapy for me, I guess. I don't know. Even though there's fucking assholes in the comments, sometimes doing dumb shit, saying dumb shit. But yeah, this is like the space I come to, I don't know, unleash, right? And then sometimes I like to receive feedback, different perspectives. I like that. I think that that's important, to be able to, receive that kind of shit from people. So that is that. That's what that experience has done to me. That is what I have been dealing with. That is a lot. It's a lot of shit to carry, to hold, to manage, because on top of that, you still have to be a functioning adult, and a mother, and keep it together for the kids. And life has been really fucking hard lately. When it rains, it fucking pours. But I lived in the PNW for 7 years, so I know how to fuck with rain, so it's all good. I've been going through all kinds of shit my entire life. Who hasn't, right? Who fucking hasn't? So I just think it's amazing that after everything I've gone through, I'm still capable of smiling, seeing the best in people, giving people the benefit of the doubt, trusting people who don't always fucking deserve it, being kind to people, being like genuine, being compassionate, like paying my fucking bills, not being a drug addict, not being an alcoholic, not being all these things. Like, I'm doing pretty fucking well, I think. And if the worst of it is I gotta be sad for a little bit just to get through my shit, and really heal for reals, and not just like mask shit and put a pin in it. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm here for that. Yeah. I'm going to read some comments now. I've gotten to that point where I've just been blah, 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 blah. I also want to say that last episode was an interesting one. Obviously, shit went down and was said. Jimmy and I have been friends for a really long time. And I love him, and I always will. And I would really, really, really appreciate it if people in the comments didn't say anything disrespectful or out of pocket aimed at him or myself. But like, let's just leave that out of it. And that would be great. Okay, thank you. It's just not something like I'm down to tolerate right now. Like, we can go through our shit, and sometimes obviously some shit will be public, but that's for us to figure out and work out on our own hopefully without commentary from people who don't know all the details and all the things. So if you guys could respect that and that would be great. We got Timothy Martin in the house. What's up, Timothy? Thank you for stopping by, showing love, commenting, engaging. Larry Wesson, I appreciate you. William Lewis, thank you so much. Bart Joyce, nice to see you. Matt Petro, you ask me literally every fucking week if I will show you my feet, and the answer every week since last year has been no. Sorry about your luck right now. What's up, Zumba? What's up, Keith? Happy to see you guys here. Agnetha, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I appreciate that you're still around. Band Garcia Sevens, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Ricardo, always nice to see you, homie. I did that probably just, I don't know, go away or something. Freddie Krueger, don't know you, but happy that you are here. Yeah, so thank you guys for those of you who are listening, even for those of you who are listening and not commenting. I appreciate the support. What's up, Earl? I'm glad you stopped by, said hello. Don't crash, drive safe. I appreciate your continued support as well. Yeah. Okay. Next thing on the docket, I guess, is that's like a legal term, right? I'm pretty sure. I asked Instagram last night because I was listening to like a radio show, and they were talking about or asking people what the perception of them was back in like junior high or high school, and like whether or not that was accurate and all those things. And I thought that would be fun because a lot of people that I went to junior high and high school with follow me on Instagram and have followed me on Instagram for, like 10 years now that I've had it. And I was kind of a dork. I know, hard to believe, right? I'm still such a fucking nerd. But I was a dork. Like, I was a straight A student. I was an athlete. Like, I wasn't the girl who had tits and, a body in junior high. Like, I didn't peak in junior high. Very much a late bloomer. And so, like, as you can imagine, not popular with the fellas, right? Like, nobody wanted the dorky girl that has no tits. Like, and back then it was about tits. This is the 90s, right? Like, it's boobs. They didn't have attraction for girls with ass, right? And like, I used to get made fun of for my butt in elementary school, and I was called bubble butt, and those like cherry balls that you played like dodgeball with, they'd call me cherry butt. Like, that was not a cute thing back then. Fast forward 2022, everybody wants my ass or an ass like mine. They pay for it, like, whatever. So not the girl that peaked in middle school, not the girl that was interesting in any like physical way, not cute. I had freckles. Freckles were not the trend that they are now. I still have freckles. I just wear makeup, obviously. My hair was really light. So like my hair is like strawberry blonde, like reddish. My hair gets really light in the summer. My hair was pretty blonde growing up because I was always in the sun, and that's what happens to my hair. I get some sunlight, the shit turns blonde. Definitely not one of the cool kids. I did group hop, so I didn't just hang out with the same people all the time. I went to 5 different elementary schools. So when I got to middle school, I knew hella people. And then when I got to high school, because I knew hella of people and I knew their siblings, I knew people of the different grades. And I got really sick in 9th grade. And hold on, I'm gonna let this bitch out. I got really sick in 9th grade. My biology teacher thought I was only specifically ditching his class. So I had to have in-school suspension for like 5th period, which happened to be during B-lunch. The lady in ISS knew that I wasn't some jackass kid just ditching. So she gave me, like, she would let me leave to B-lunch. So I had friends in A-lunch and B-lunch. And I like group hopped there. still freshman year of high school. I barely was getting boobs. Like, I still looked like a 12-year-old when I was 14. So I asked people what their perception was of me, because the interesting thing is, I know that this is like such fucking bullshit. It's hilarious to me that I've had mad dudes from junior high and high school who back then, right, like wouldn't even fucking make eye contact with me if I was standing in the circle with, maybe I was there with someone that I was friends with. I was like looked at like, what are you doing here, kind of a thing, right? That now swear up and fucking down like how much of a crush they've had on me, or had on me in junior high or like high school. And it's fucking hilarious to me, because no, the fuck you didn't. If you did know I existed, you definitely weren't into me. You wanted the chick with the tits and the eyebrows. Like, those were your girls. Like, that was not me. That's not, I didn't like get like shape or really anything. I don't know. Well, I've always had the butt, but I didn't start like wearing like makeup and doing all that shit till like 9th grade, like towards, the end of 9th grade and like 10th grade. And then I dropped out. I didn't graduate high school. But so I was curious of what the perception was of me. I fully expected to like see a lot of comments saying like dork, like nerd, like all these things. And I did ask people, okay, so for those of you who didn't know me in junior high and high school, what is your current perception of me? Because you don't actually know me, you just follow me on Instagram. And the responses, I don't know why I sound like I'm from like the Midwest when I say responses. I think I just say a lot of things funny, which was recently brought to my attention by somebody. So didn't know, had no idea that I have like random weird accents. Don't know how that happens. Couldn't tell you. Some of the response, so I'm going to read them all. There's like not a ton, but there's some, and I'll tell you what I think. I don't know if this is interesting to you guys, but it was interesting to me. I saw it on a show. I thought I'd fucking do it here. It's not easy trying to come up with talking points when you're talking by yourself to who knows what is watching. So here we go. This is what I got. First one said their perception of me was a born leader. That is very kind. That's actually something that stuck out to me, because when I was in kindergarten, my mom said that my kindergarten teacher said that about me. I think that like made me think about that, and I'm like, oh, how long have people felt like that about me? Kindergarten. So that was nice. That was from somebody who definitely didn't go to middle school with me or high school with me, but follows me on Instagram. Nice thing to say. Somebody told me, I met you when I was 18 working at a mall, so it was love at first sight. That's funny. So another thing is, like, I have younger brothers, and then obviously because I have younger brothers, their friends have always like had crushes on me, or told my brothers, oh, like I'm totally, when I get 18, like when we were teenagers, right? Because I was already like 18, and they're like, oh, when I turn 18, like I'm gonna like marry your sister, and like some shit like that. So it's funny to hear that, because this person does know my brother, and that's how I met them. And that's what they said. Somebody else says, you were the first person I met when I moved to Oregon. So this is back in like 2000, 2001-ish. We moved to Oregon for a year and a half. It was a horrible fucking experience. I don't recommend moving teenagers. It's just not the move. And so I was the first person this person met, always been the homegirl. Yes, I have. Somebody said, you should be a foot model. You have followers. Thanks to foot fetish guys who love your YouTube lives. Okay, go away. That wasn't what I asked for. Bye. Okay, so here's one from somebody who dated my brother in high school. Okay, so the funny story is that when my brothers were in high school, I was a couple years older, right? And I was like semi crazy, like in the sense that I was down to fucking fight. Like if you were disrespectful, if you were these things, like I have no issue fighting you. Like we're going to throw hands, like this is going to happen. I'm going to beat you up. And I had gotten in a fight at a Burger King drive-thru that happened to be across the street from my brother's high school. And so after that, the talk was don't mess with, my brother's names because their sister's crazy. I like that. That made me happy. Like, that's cool. So her comment was, I was intimidated, but also thought you were so cool. And that's cute. Like that. So she is my brother's age. He's born in 87. So he's like 2 years younger than me, but almost 3 years because he was born at the end of the year. And so it's cute that they were like intimidated, but like also thought that I was like cool, right? Like I had like a cool, like it's cute to hear that. Because I love her. She's adorable. Like I'm still like friends with my brother's exes. And I know that's not like a popular opinion. Like people don't like that, but I mean, this was so long ago. It doesn't even matter. Somebody said that my integrity is important to me. This person I didn't go to high school with, but they follow me on Instagram and stuff. They said, your integrity is important to you and you care about others and you're an amazing mom. I'm really, really happy that that's that perception because that is exactly the perception that I want. Like integrity is very important to me. I'll take integrity over attention any fucking day. And being a good mother is like my top thing that I like strive to be. So I'm glad that that kind of like shows through social media, even though now that my kids are older, I definitely share them less. And I share them also a lot less because my profile on Instagram is public and there's a lot of weird people who follow me. And I don't want them having like a lot of access to my children and my children's photos and like my motherhood because it's easy to attack people. Like, and that's something that's personal to me. So if like you attacked my motherhood, like if I see you in person, you're fucking dead. Like I will beat you up. I don't care. I will go to jail for something like that. So I don't share them a lot. And so I'm glad that something like that still kind of shines through that. So I appreciate that. Someone said, you're a jerk with a lot. I am a jerk sometimes. So that's fair. Somebody said, you have a pure heart and personality. God bless you. I mean, I try to be like I said, authenticity and integrity. Those are like really high values of mine, like personal values of mine. So that's what I attempt to, be on the inside and outward. So somebody says, think you're super beautiful and smart. I like receiving compliments that are more not like physical attributes. Like, don't get me wrong. I love a woman loves to hear that she's beautiful, right? Like I was in a relationship with someone for a while. And he literally not one time ever called me beautiful. And it like clicked, like not to like wait like a couple years down. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this has never happened. Like, and to me, I think that like if it's hard for you to tell your girl that she's beautiful, you probably don't think she is. And I know people say, oh, like for some people are like, oh, it's just hard for them to like say something like that. Like, no, it's not fucking hard to give somebody that you care about or that you're with like a compliment. It's not fucking hard. Like, get over yourself. You're a fucking adult. Like, if you don't fucking believe it, that's why I believe you won't say it. I think that if you fucking believe it, it's easy to say. Like, if you love somebody, it's easy to tell them you love them if you fucking actually love them. You know what I mean? Like, it's a default. Like, you almost say it to say it, you know, but if you feel it, then it's not hard. So, yeah. Anyways, I digress. Someone says their perception of me was I'm a hard ass, but with a gentle soul, old school vibes with a wild side. I'll take that. I think that's pretty fair, pretty accurate. Someone who did know me while I was in high school age said that I was a down ass chica. That's what I mean. Like, I was crazy. I was down. Like, I was, I mean, at this age, I'm like, bro, like, I'm really not trying to fight people, like, in any aspect, not physically, not verbally. It doesn't do anything for me anymore. I was a master of the verbal assault. I believe that part of me is still there, but I really, really, really have been working very hard to suppress that bitch. So, someone said, down ass bitch who don't take no shit from these suckers. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's what I aim to not take people's shit, but I tend to take people's shit longer than I should. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. Someone who I did go to junior high with says, in junior high, I thought you were a very easygoing person, super nice and easy to talk to. Oh, see, that's what I was hoping. Like, I hope that the perception of me wasn't like something really foul. I guess that's what I was just tapping in to make sure that I don't think like I'm this cool ass fucking person while everybody over here is like, ooh, you're not that cool. You're kind of a bitch, you know? That's kind of what the goal is here. To make sure that on the outside, people are seeing what I'm like, what I hope I'm putting out, you know? Someone who didn't know me in high school, but I was a janitor at a gym for like 3 years while I was in college. I cleaned toilets. I did the really fancy stuff. And this person was a gym goer and started following me on social media there. This person says, Estella, the cat lady, is a pretty funny chick. Wish we could have hung out when she lived in Eugene. That's nice. I'm glad that the perception of me as a cat lady, because I definitely am. Okay, Zumbo, have a good night. Somebody said, you seem to be cool, even keel, genuine, have morals, respectful, a little guarded. Well, I was hoping that wouldn't like be something that people see, like the whole guarded thing. You know, I think like everybody else, shit happens to you, and so like you don't even mean to be guarded or intend to be that way, but you have to be. And I try to, like I said, like give people the benefit of the doubt and like trust people's intentions are pure, and you know, oftentimes they're not, and you learn otherwise. But I try not to like be too jaded. Working on it. Work in progress. Someone says that you 100 real and are into and care about a lot of different things that make you unique. I am into and care about a ton of different things. I'm glad that's perception. Someone who is my BFF in second grade, and so we like, you know, She's like, you're a badass bitch. I'm glad that was the perception. I think that's just like today's perception. Probably I wasn't that badass in elementary school and all those things. Somebody that I met in Eugene while working in the nonprofit scene. We both worked with unaccompanied minors and homeless or youth experiencing homelessness. Says the perception of me is a creative person who's just trying to elevate her and her family's lives. I'm really, really happy with that response. Because I think that that is 100% accurate. My friend's husband says, I didn't know your old ass back then. No, you didn't. Somebody that I did go to school with, but I don't know if they knew me or of me. They said, you're a go-getter. And you do what you put your mind to and you get it done. I like that perception of me. I think that that's pretty accurate. Like, it took me 10 years to graduate college, guys. Like, I didn't graduate high school, but I did graduate college, and it wasn't fucking easy. I did it as a parent, a single parent, the entire fucking time, working multiple jobs, working till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning at night, scrubbing fucking toilets at a gym. And, like, there's something about me that you guys need to understand. Like, I am almost 38, right? And I know a lot of people, they have this nasty habit, myself included sometimes, of like comparing your journey to somebody else's, right? Like, I think in your 30s, especially when you start to get into your late 30s, you look at your peers, and some of your peers like own homes. They have a family. They seem to have their fucking life together. They have a career where they're making great money, you know. And then you look at your life and you're like, I don't own a home. I'm not making great money. I don't have my life together. Like, what's wrong, right? And there's a reason why they say comparison is a thief of joy, like it is. And we shouldn't compare our journeys to anybody else's journey, because nobody in this entire world has ever had to go through what you've gone through. And that they might have similar fucking experiences, but they're not you. They don't process shit the way that you do. They don't have the same parents you do. Things didn't land a certain way with them the way that they did you. You know, some people had advantages, some had resources, some didn't, you know? And so I am guilty of having compared my journey to other people's at times in my life. But I do snap myself out of it. And I am proud of being somebody who is driven. Like, I would consider myself driven. Like, I am currently living what I dreamed to be living 10 years ago, when I didn't have a fucking dime to my name and I left my kid's dad, like, with all that I could fit in my car. Like, just our clothes and some of their toys and photo albums. Like, that's all I could fit in the car. That's what I drove away with. And where I'm living now, where I pay my rent, I feed my kids, they are fucking amazing human beings. Like, I have a college degree. Like, I am self-sufficient. I am independent. This is exactly where the fuck I wanted to be 10 years ago. This is what I dreamt of. And so what I know about me is, no, my journey doesn't look like everybody else's. I don't own a home yet. I don't make bomb ass money yet, right? But I will get where I'm going, because that's who the fuck I am. I might take the scenic route. I love the scenic route. I think you learn a lot on the scenic route. But I fucking get to the destination. I'm really, really, though, trying to focus on being journey focused, like I've said. That's the other piece about that whole retreat, is I think that the hardest part about it is accepting that I am not the same person today that I was before I stepped into that room and experienced the things that I experienced and had to confront within myself. And I'm grieving a lot right now, right? I am grieving who I was and versus who I am. You know, you're so much more comfortable with what you know, and I don't know anymore. And so, you know, on top of other things that I'm grieving, like, that's the scary part, is now that I am on this scenic route and I'm on this journey, I have to be on this journey with myself, who I no longer know all the details. Like, I'm not the same person anymore, you know? And that shit is wild. But I'm glad that the perception is go-getter, because I do consider myself one of those. So, and then someone said, hot bomb ass Aquarius mama who keeps it real. That's very sweet. I agree. I keep it as real as I can. I think sometimes some people try to keep it real, and they think that keeping it real means saying shit that's like you didn't have to say that, and you didn't have to say it that fucking way, and it's not appreciated always. So that's something I do try to bear in mind these days that I didn't before. Yeah, so I think that's where I'm at. Oh, so I am starting my fitness journey all over again. I started this journey initially 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, after I had my son. And I was like the heaviest I'd ever been in my life, which is actually not too far off from where I'm at currently. But for me at the time, it was like I felt like a cow. I am starting all over. I am planning on documenting the journey and sharing the journey. I'm really terrible at that, because I think taking videos of myself in the gym and gym selfies and progress pics, while I understand the importance, right? Because you see yourself every single day, so you don't see the change. Other people who don't see you every day will see the change. And if you take pictures, you will see the change. Totally understand the importance. Still feels uncomfortable and cheesy. So I might not share every single day and every fucking detail, but I will give like sporadic updates, you know, as I am comfortable with, and developing the ability and the want and all of that for documenting it myself and sharing it. So be on the lookout for that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, this is my Instagram handle right here. Go ahead and do that. If you are watching from the Side Friends YouTube channel, make sure you click on go to my Bitch Guess What channel and subscribe there as well. I appreciate your support on both platforms, as I don't know what this channel is going to look like going forward. The Side Friends channel, that is a conversation that needs to be had, and you know, I'm giving it the time and thought and care and consideration that it requires. And so, yeah, make sure you subscribe, Bitch Guess What, on YouTube. and like the video. Hit the like button. It costs you nothing. Make sure you do it. I think that's all I have to say. That's all I have to share. This will be uploaded to both audio platforms, so you can access it there. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. Those of you who stayed on and watched the whole thing, I fucking love you. I appreciate the support. It literally means everything. This is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, to come and talk to the void. And for those of you who just jumped in and, you know, here and there, I still appreciate you. I still have like lingering COVID. That sucked, by the way. I know that I had like a very mild case of it. It was like oh great, it's gonna start. It was like a head cold, but the isolation sucked so bad. I always thought I was like not an affectionate person, like physically, and then you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? And so many different fucking aspects of our lives, like you don't really know truly what you have until it's gone. And I didn't have the ability to hug and love on my people. And prior to that, when I get hugs and cuddles, a lot of the times I'm like, ooh, like, okay, like that's good, thanks. And now I'm like squeezing tighter, kissing more, like I want that. Like I've decided, like, yeah, I do like that and need that. So yeah. Don't know what you got. Have you guys heard that song from like an 80s hair band? It's called Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. That's how I felt about that physical affection connection piece that I didn't have the option to tap into. Anyways, so yeah, that's exactly what it is, Williams. Like I've never been a cuddly person until recently, and then like my kids, when they were younger, I'd fucking squeeze the shit out of them, love them, and all the things. And then they became stinky teenagers, and now they're like hugging me, and I'm like, ooh, like you're gross, go shower, you know? And now that I've had COVID and had the no option to do that, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna kiss their stinky ass face. Like it's fine. Like I love them. I'm gonna hug them. And then I'm going to tell them they need to shower, or I'm going to tell them they need to shower, and then they can like love on their mom. So yeah. I think that's all I have to say. I've said a lot. Thank you for those of you who had the patience to actually listen to the whole fucking thing. I appreciate you so much, because I really don't talk to hear myself fucking speak. I'm hoping that I'm talking, and some of this, if any of it hits, please let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, make sure you like. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, but also to Bitch Guess What, because that is a platform that I am going to be heavily focusing on. So make sure that you show that channel some love as well. Bitch Guess What. There's also the episodes that I have with Sonia and Lucho. We are the bitches, Las Chismosas, and we are on air every other Tuesday on the Bitch Guess What channel. So make sure you subscribe, check it out, like the fucking videos. It's free. It costs you nothing. You know, even if you just go on the video, you don't have to watch the whole fucking thing. Click on it, like it. It's not hard. Subscribe. It's not hard. Yeah. Anyway, you guys have a beautiful night. Like I said, I don't know the next solo cast will be, but I will be back. Just subscribe to that channel, please. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Talk to you guys soon. I don't really know what outro to play with, so I'll just do the countdown. Because I don't want to play our Bitch Guess What music, even though Lucho created that jingle and it was dope as fuck. So maybe I will play it for those of you who haven't heard it. Lucho, who is a chismosa on our podcast, created a dope ass fucking song for it, and maybe I'll let you guys hear it. So yeah, have a good night, guys. Subscribe. Bitch Guess What?
You are now tuning in live to Bitch Guess What?
Bitch guess what? Bitch guess what? Bitch guess what? What? How do these bitches be guessing? Bitch guess what? What? Bitch guess what? What? Bitch guess what? What? How do these bitches be guessing? All of my bitches be guessing. Who they be guessing? Half of them stressing. Y'all need a lesson. Hold up in line, one at a time. Baby, I get to your question. This ain't operation. Educate the population. Bringing all my bitches to the forefront of the conversation. What? Bitch guess what? Bitch guess